A very good evening to all. It is my privilege and an honor to welcome all distinguished guests, students, parents, faculty, and staff to the 10th Convocation Ceremony and celebration of Founders Day at O.P. Jindal Global University. This is the first time we are organizing this in a virtual mood, and we are immensely grateful to each and every one of you for joining us here today. We would like to commence the proceedings of this ceremony by paying a tribute to Shri O.P. Jindal, the founder of O.P. Jindal Group. We will now play a short video capturing the life and legacy of Shri O.P. Jindal.
It was the dream of Shri Om Prakash Jindal that laid the foundation of the $12 billion Jindal Group, a name that in the last 5 decades has become one of India's most dynamic and respected organizations. Shri O.P. Jindal's monumental journey began in a small village in Haryana. A farmer's son with technology on his mind, it was a small incident that changed the course of his destiny. One day, he found a pipe that had "Made in England" written on it. These 3 words compelled Shri O.P. Jindal to think, why couldn't these pipes be manufactured in India? With just a little experience in trading in steel and no formal training in engineering, Shri O.P. Jindal started a pipe unit in 1952 with an investment of only 42,000 rupees.
क्योंकि जिंदल साहब असल में इंजीनियर नहीं थे, लेकिन इंजीनियर से भी ज़्यादा उनको अनुभव था.
All the machinery for the unit was indigenously developed by Shri O.P. Jindal himself.
मैं ऐसा जी मिस्त्री जो है ना, कारीगर, जो प्रैक्टिकल कारीगर है, मैं उसकी राय ज़्यादा मानता हूँ, इंजीनियर की कम मानता हूँ. जिसने हाथ से काम किया है 10 साल 5 साल है, तो उनको बिठा लेता हूँ मैं.
A visionary par excellence, Shri O.P. Jindal laid the foundation of his memorable journey with a single unit plant in Hisar and followed it with Jindal Strips Limited. This was just the beginning of a company that has today transformed into a multi-product global steel conglomerate. Spreading Shri O.P. Jindal's vision to every corner of the world are his 4 sons, Shri Prithvi Raj Jindal, Shri Sajjan Jindal, Shri Ratan Jindal and Shri Naveen Jindal.
शुरू से उनका एक ही होता था कि मेरा परिवार जो है आपस में मिलकर प्यार से रहे, और मेरी कोशिश यही है कि मैं उनके परिवार को, अपने परिवार को प्यार से इकट्ठा रखूं.
Fueled by the passion of their father, the 4 pillars stand united to make the Jindal Group the best in the business by building on their core strengths.
I could only do it because I knew, he was there guiding me. He was, he was the inspiration. I took all the courage from him, because he's always taught us that, okay, we should never we should always fight against injustice, and it could be anybody.
The man who was instrumental in securing every Indian the right to fly the national flag with dignity, Shri Naveen Jindal, is much more than a businessman or a member of parliament. Revolutionizing JSPL from a moderately performing company into a powerhouse in the steel sector, Shri Naveen Jindal consolidated JSPL's position across steel, power, mining and infrastructure sectors. A national record holder in skeet shooting and a proficient polo player, Shri Naveen Jindal mirrors his father's ideology of following the best practices in business management and politics. More than mere excellence in business, each unit of the group is driven by a socially conscious corporate philosophy that is inspired by Shri O.P. Jindal. He was a social reformer whose life's mission was to help the common man in every possible way.
अगर समाज सेवा करनी हो तो राजनीति से बढ़िया कोई माध्यम नहीं है.
A confidant and companion of Shri O.P. Jindal, Srimati Savitri Jindal is much more than the chairperson of the $12 billion Jindal Group. The former Minister of State for Revenue and Housing in the Haryana government, Srimati Savitri Jindal is acknowledged and widely appreciated by senior politicians and the media for her relentless efforts in her constituency and society. Srimati Savitri Jindal continues to be the torchbearer who inspires the group to uphold Shri O.P. Jindal's values of inclusive growth and social reforms.
हिसार की जनता तो जिंदल साहब को बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार करती थी और प्यार करती रहेगी. तो मैं भी जो सपने जिंदल साहब ने देखे थे उन्हीं को पूरा करने में लगी हुई हूँ।
Choosing remote areas to set up industry, Shri O.P. Jindal adopted a large number of villages and contributed to the development of the region in a more holistic way. Jindal industrial townships have health and education facilities, not only for employees, but also people living in nearby areas. It is this very vision of Shri O.P. Jindal that lives on in the form of superior services being provided by hospitals, schools, charitable trusts, foundations, and numerous other philanthropic endeavors.
My main inspiration and guiding light in life has been my father. He used to say that education and health are the best gifts that anyone can give to anyone.
A life that trailblazed the nation's industrial growth. A life that exemplified growth for everyone. An inspiration not only for the group but the entire society. Shri O.P. Jindal's life realized a dream that enriches the lives of millions across the globe.
I now call upon Professor Sridhar Patnaik, Registrar, O.P. Jindal Global University, to take the proceedings further.
Thank you very much, Professor Upasana. The Honorable Chancellor, may I request you to declare the convocation open.
This convocation of the O.P. Jindal Global University has been called to confer the degrees upon the candidates who, in the examination held for the purpose, have been certified to be worthy of the same. I now declare the convocation open.
Thank you, Honorable Chancellor. I now request Vice Chancellor, O.P. Jindal Global University, Professor Dr. C. Raj Kumar, to deliver the welcome address and to present the university report.
A very good evening to everyone present here today. I am delighted to welcome all of you to the 10th convocation ceremony of O.P. Jindal Global University and celebration of our Founders Day. Thank you for being with us on this very special occasion. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Amitabh Khan, Chief Executive Officer, Niti Aayog, and our founding chancellor and benefactor, Mr. Naveen Jindal. My deepest gratitude to you for elevating this event with your esteemed presence. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all our faculty members, students, and staff who are watching this program along with their parents live on YouTube. I also want to extend a warm welcome to the Principal Director of the Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences and the deans of all the schools of JGU who are present with us on this occasion. Today marks the 12th anniversary of our university and the 91st birth anniversary of Shri O.P. Jindal, in whose memory this university was founded. On a personal note, Chancellor Jindal, this year also marks 15 years since we first met on 30th October 2006 and started the journey to build this institution. At a time when India was mostly about STEM and medicine universities, it was your faith and conviction that enabled India to provide our youth with a world-class opportunity of higher education in social sciences, arts, and humanities. You are indeed and will always be the backbone of JGU. To fulfill the vision of the National Education Policy 2020 and to promote philanthropy in higher education, we need more enlightened and transformative business leaders such as Mr. Naveen Jindal. It fills me with great joy and humility to see what started in 2009 as an idea with a single school has so quickly evolved into a 10-school multidisciplinary institution with 2 new schools that have been established to commence next academic year. We began a little over a decade ago with the vision to bring world-class education to India. Today, I'm delighted to share that JGU has grown into an institution that brings faculty from 40 countries in the world, students from 20 countries in the world, and has collaborated with over 300 leading universities and institutions across 65 countries to bring international experiences to the Indian higher education system. As we have grown stronger with nearly 8,000 students, we have also ensured a consistent expansion of our academic community to bring quality education to our students. With over 100 faculty members added to the JGU family this year, we now stand strong with over 900 full-time faculty members. With great humility, I would like to share with you that all of our collective efforts have culminated in JGU being recognized as the #1 private university in India by the prestigious QS World University Rankings 2022. JGU has also been recognized among the top 150 universities globally under the age of 50 years by the QS Young University Rankings. Also, we have made steadfast progress in school-level rankings. The Jindal Global Law School has been ranked as India's #1 law school and also been ranked as the world's 76th best law school by the QS World University Rankings by subject. The Jindal Global Business School's BBA Honours Program has been ranked 3rd in India among the 125 such programs that were ranked by the coveted Outlook iCare Rankings 2021. I'm also proud to share with you that in 2020, OP Jindal Global University was recognized as an institution of eminence by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. It was a very unique public policy initiative promoted by none less than the Honorable Prime Minister of India to identify 10 public and 10 private institutions with a view to giving them the status of an institution of eminence and to propel them to become world-class universities. Last year, we were faced with one of the most unfortunate and unprecedented crises of our time. The COVID-19 pandemic has been a humanitarian tragedy worldwide. I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt condolences to everyone who had lost their near and dear ones. All of us have come together to overcome those trials and tribulations. On this joyous occasion, the most significant outcome of our efforts across this year is right in front of us, and that is our graduating students who have displayed their commitment to their academic pursuits even in these challenging times. I appreciate their resilience, their dedication to achieve success. The achievement across this year particularly outlines the adaptability and the extraordinary ability of our students to overcome many challenges, underscoring the strength of their character and the courage of conviction. A special gratitude to all the faculty members who have mentored and guided our students in their evolution across these years. Most importantly, my humble and sincere gratitude to the parents and family members of our students. It is your support that has enabled them with the conviction to take this step towards achieving their ambitions. I would like to thank the government agencies, regulatory bodies, including the Ministry of Education, the Bar Council of India, the Architecture Council of India, the University Grants Commission, the NAC, and of course, the Government of Haryana for their support and encouragement in all our endeavors. Dear students, let me share with you what I would consider to be less known facts about the campus of OP Jindal Global University. As you move into the real world, not only should you wear with pride the badge of JGU, but also remember that you have spent the last few years of your life in a location that is a site of worldly accomplishments and great historic significance. I know for sure that many of you who are present on this occasion may not be aware of the historical significance of Sonipat and the location of our campus. When you tell the people of the world that you are an alumni of JGU, they may ask, where is it located? Of course, after the Tokyo Olympics, you would well say that it is in the Olympic capital of India. 1/4 of the Indian contingent, the highest went from Haryana, winning 4 of the 17 medals, and I believe 1 this afternoon as well. At least 6 members of that contingent are from Sonipat, the district with the highest number of Olympians this year and a sporting record that should make you proud. Haryana's own contribution is stellar with 31 athletes of the Olympic contingent from one small state of India. Not just modern sporting legacy, but Haryana and Sonipat have an enigmatic history dating back to more than 4,000 years ago when one of the most advanced civilizations known to humankind, Indus Valley Civilization or the Harappan Civilization, flourished right here. It is now regarded as the beginning of. Until 2014, archaeologists had argued that Pakistan was the largest among the 2,000 Harappan sites known to exist. But recent discoveries at Rakigari in Haryana's Hisar district makes it the largest Harappan excavation. Not just history, But the location of our university, Sonipat, is found in the epics, replete with myths and legends and Vedic references. It is believed that this region provided the backdrop to the epic of Mahabharata. Names of modern cities still carry references like Kurukshetra from the great battle of Mahabharata. Through oral history, Sonprastha or Sonipat traces its lineage to the epic. But the most intriguing historical fact is about where we are physically located, that is in the middle of the Jagdishpur village. The original Grand Trunk Road, or the Uttar Path, one of the world's oldest roads connecting major countries of the Indian subcontinent, passed right through what is now the campus of OP Jindal Global University. A Kos Minar or Bunny Stone on the GT Road, built during the time of Jahangir and Sher Shah Suri, stands near one of our campus adjacent gates to campus gates adjacent to the student housing block. This is where global trade may have started, connecting people from unknown lands. You belong to a region that has been a crucible of our great Eastern civilization, witnessing the rise and fall of empires. Always remember this and feel a sense of pride in where you come from. Now that I've taken the liberty to share with you a bird's eye view of your journey with JGU and the evolution of JGU during your presence at the university, it is time for me to extend my heartiest congratulations to every student graduating today. Not only you graduate today, but you've also done it during one of the most challenging times in your own lifetime, in all our lifetime. I am indeed very proud of you. As you leave the portals of JGU, always remember that you are capable of doing more than what some others like you to believe. I hope that you will be inspired by the words of none other than the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and I quote, "A small body of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of history," unquote. Also, today is a day for all of you to thank your parents, family members, teachers, and mentors. It is their support and guidance across these years that will form the very foundation of the rest of your lives. Always express your gratitude and humility towards them as leaps and bounds in your respective lives. So many things have come to our life, not necessarily because we deserve it. It is important to remain grateful. Therefore, always be grateful to your parents, colleagues, friends, and fellow citizens every day. The many things that have come in our way, but we do not necessarily deserve. Remind yourself not to adopt a misplaced and false sense of entitlement that will undermine your ability to grow and affect change. Finally, as I conclude, I want to share with you the concept of Ubuntu. Ubuntu essentially means, and I quote, "I am what I am because of who we all are," unquote. The word Ubuntu has its origins in one of the Bantu dialects of Africa. It is a traditional African philosophy that provides us an understanding of ourselves in relation to the world. According to Ubuntu, there exists a common bond between us all, and it is through this bond, through our interaction with our fellow human beings, that we discover our own human qualities. Or as the Zulus would say, and I quote, that a person is a person through other persons. We affirm our humanity when we acknowledge that of others. Whatever you do henceforth in your life, always remember that small acts of courage, kindness, empathy, and courtesies of the heart will make a great difference to those around you. Success is most often not meaningfully measured in more conventional notions of status, titles, and wealth, but in these ordinary acts of humanity. Remember, seeking change and transformation in everything you do is important. Therefore, you constantly need to change the status quo, challenge it, and strive to be part of the efforts to seek positive change and transformation in the world. I would like to mention that authors Gary Keller and Jay Papasan wrote a Wall Street Journal bestseller book entitled The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truths Behind Extraordinary Results. A few years ago, I had gifted this book to our Honorable Chancellor. This book is absolutely amazing, but the simple idea of this book, a bestseller book, was beautifully articulated by none other than Swami Vivekananda over 125 years ago in the following words, and I quote, "Take up one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success," unquote. So the graduating class of 2021, go ahead and make the best use of your lives, impacting positively your lives and indeed the lives of others. Congratulations, and I wish you all success in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Rajkumar, for those truly inspiring words. May I now request Honorable Founding Chancellor of OP Jindal Global University, Shri Naveen Jindal, to deliver the Chancellor's address.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Shri Amitabh Kant, CEO, Niti Aayog, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rajkumar, our Registrar, Professor Patnaik, other distinguished guests, deans, faculty, staff, and dear graduating students, their parents and family members. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 10th Convocation Ceremony and the Founders' Day of OP Jindal Global University. Today is a very special day. It's a very special day for you, and it's a very special day for me. It's the 91st birth anniversary of my father, Shri OP Jindal, in whose memory we started this university. And today we are celebrating with great sense of pride the 12th anniversary of the establishment of JGU this year. Shri OP Jindal's work demonstrated his dedication to the cause of development of the country through setting up path-breaking industries. And he took great interest in setting up educational institutions for public good. Especially, he was very interested in the girl child's education. My father, he did not get a formal education. He did not even go past class 10th, but he trained a lot of engineers. The kind of innovative spirit that I have seen in him, actually innovating in the steel industry, trying out new things, sitting in the workshop, in the shop floor, trying out different ways of steel making for 48 hours. He used to just actually get a bed there, just be there, sleep there, and get things done. So whatever we have achieved in our lives, we have drawn inspiration from Babuji, and we've been able to achieve a lot. So to mark the memory of my father, we hold the convocation of JGU on his birth anniversary every year. And so it's a really special day for you as you are graduating today. And it's a very special day for all of us. Friends, it gives me immense pleasure to be here today in the presence of our graduating students, their proud family members, and members of our faculty and staff. You are important stakeholders of this university and have been playing a crucial part in the success of the university. I would like to congratulate all the graduating students, including the medal winners, for your dedication to academic excellence during this difficult year of pandemic. Friends, we felt truly elated on JGU being recognized as #1 private university in India by the QS World University Rankings 2022. While Jindal Global Law School has been ranked as India's #1 law school and ranked as world's 76th best law school by the QS World University Rankings. You'll be glad to know that we also recently achieved an important milestone in our business school. The Jindal Global Business School's BBA Honours Program has been ranked 3rd in India amongst the 125 such programs that were ranked by coveted Outlook iCare Rankings 2021. I'm happy to note that all of the schools of JGU are also poised to achieve greatness as they are making immense contributions towards promoting excellence in every aspect of institution building. I shall like to refer to another important development in the history of JGU, when in October, just last year, it was declared as an institution of eminence by Ministry of Education, Government of India. With this coveted status, JGU entered the select group of top 10 private educational institutions in the country which have received this recognition. These are extraordinary achievements, especially for a young non-STEM, non-medicine university in its 12th year of founding. For this, I would like to place on record my appreciation and admiration for our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, and our wonderful team at JGU, along with school deans, heads of research institutes, faculty members, staff, and students, for having relentlessly worked hard over all these years to realize our vision to contribute to the building of our nation. Now, this is especially for students. I know for all of you, the last 1.5 years have been very, very challenging with only online classes. I mean, I'm sure you've been missing the campus, you're missing your friends. I used to get lots of calls from lots of parents who know me, and they used to all the time, they used to ask me to restart the classes. They said, our kids are wanting to go back to the campus. And I would speak to Raj. I would sometimes try to force Raj also. I said, Raj, we must start the campus now, even kids are getting vaccinated, etc. But Raj, I must say, every time he took the right call, because I used to kind of get influenced and we were keen to restart. But then we are glad that we did not, because the second wave happened after that. And that was the most disastrous. And like Raj said, and a lot of us have lost, a lot of near and dear ones. So in a way, that was the right call to take, but I know it has been hard. So I would like to extend invitation to you on my behalf, and I know Raj would welcome you also, and so would the registrar and everyone at the university. This is your home. The university is your home. You are our family. So you're welcome to come anytime. Whenever you find time, you want to come and stay on the campus, be there, teach there, learn there. You're most welcome to come and make up for this lost time. And I know you love the campus, all the places, and all your friends. So this is just, I would say, a hard time, which things are getting better now. So you'll always be welcome to come back to the campus and make up for the lost time. Also, for this ceremony, we would have liked to have a grand ceremony for all of you, but due to the extraordinary circumstances this year, we are hosting the convocation in a virtual mode. Even there was discussion that, some of the kids said, no, we do not want any convocation. We do not want a virtual convocation. But I was like, no, under any circumstances, as a matter of principle in my life, under whatever circumstances we are in, whatever best is possible under those circumstances, we will do that. So this is the best that was possible now. But, it's amazing that, thousands of us are being able to get together, watch this, and it's a very proud moment for all of us. And it's amazing that Mr. Amitabh Kant, one of my favorite persons, agreed to be our chief guest today. So I'm really, really happy that over 1,500 students will be graduating from our university today. I congratulate each and every Jindalite, their parents and family members. I wish success to all our graduates. I'm sure that this day will remain etched in your memory as a remarkable day. Hope all of you have realized the greater purpose of education during your years at JGU and will make all of us proud in the future with your contributions to the society. My special gratitude to the faculty members of JGU. As teachers, you are the main force behind the growth of the university and future professional success and moral integrity of these graduating students. So, congratulations to all the faculty members of JGU for empowering our students. Our non-teaching staff, whose wholehearted support and cooperation makes the university function. So, special gratitude to them. Also like to take a moment to thank our alumni. Our alumni is really, really important. They have done us proud. Wherever I go, they, a lot of them come and meet me. I feel so happy, so proud. So alumni is the biggest strength, because when they are doing a good work, when they are earning a good name for themselves, the university is earning a good name. They are our best ambassadors. I would like to thank all the government agencies, regulatory bodies, and all our institutional partners across the globe who have been a part to make JGU the university it has evolved into today. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying, dear students, this year, each one of you have demonstrated resilience to continue your commitment towards your academic pursuits. This shows the strength of your character and courage of conviction. And I'm very proud of you. Now, as Jindalites, you must always treat the JGU alumni tag as a special badge of honor and make a difference to the world around us. Today is indeed one of the most significant days of your lives. And we are all privileged that this day is graced by the esteemed presence of such a distinguished administrator and public policy expert, Mr. Amitabh Kant, whose words will be an inspiration for all of us. And I can just say from my personal experience, during my most difficult times, that's during, I would say during 2014 to 2020, every time I met him, I felt encouraged. Even his words of encouragement, his words of support, because when you're down, any person who encourages you, it means a lot. So he has that impact on everyone. And I would just like to say a few things. Raj mentioned about the one thing. Yes, so Raj gave me a book. He presented me a book called The One Thing, because he realized that his chancellor, he was a Lok Sabha member of parliament, which is a full-time job. I was running my businesses, which was a full-time job. I was playing polo, which is pretty much a full-time job. And I was on the national shooting team, which is absolutely a full-time job, because I wanted to go to Olympics myself. So when you do 4 things, then, you do not become master of anything. You become like jack of all. So probably Raj, and obviously I was chancellor also. So he wanted his chancellor to do better in life. So he presented me this book. And when you just open the book, it says, if you chase 2 rabbits, you catch neither one. And then obviously it goes on, and all the time teaches you that what is the one thing you can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary. So Raj may have just read the book, but then later on, 2 years back, we hired the company, The One Thing. And they have been running an amazing program called The One Thing in our company. So we have implemented the principles of One Thing, that everyone, because it teaches you that there can only be one most important thing at any given time. And rather than to have to-do lists, we have to have a priority list, and we must see what we need to do. So I think, and I would just like to say a few more things which have really helped me in my life. One is what Shakespeare said, neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. So friends, who are you going to be doing business, so never really think of, you have to sometimes borrow money, but be very, very conservative in doing that. And, it's very difficult sometimes when you borrow money from family or friends. If you're not able to pay on time, you lose the money also, and you lose the friendship. So always be aware of that. And I do want to make this demand as your chancellor that, our national flag is our greatest symbol of India. So we must display the national flag, whether we display in our homes, like I've done in the background, on our table, in your wrist, as a lapel pin on your jacket. But more important than displaying the national flag is to live by the ideals of the national flag. Dedicating ourselves to the country, being a good citizen, doing our own job well. And I'm sure then together we'll be able to make the country of our dreams. So now, as you take your next steps into the world to achieve your dreams, I would like to wish you the best to all our graduating students who will forever remain part of our family. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring and encouraging words, particularly particularly for our students. We will now have a video presentation on the enchanting fauna and flora at O.P. Jindal Global University, since our students have not been able to see the university campus for the last 15 months. And our chief guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, has also not had an opportunity to visit the campus. We therefore take this occasion to present you this video presentation.
At dawn, as the ochre rays of the sun dye the emerald landscape of the campus of O.P. Jindal Global University in gold, and the campus basks in the glory of lights and sounds, another morning appears to be suspended in time. A celestial experience plays out as every microcosm of life on campus comes alive. As the birdsong spreads joy in nature, the squirrels get on with their liveliness and gambol through tree trunks and branches. The leaves of myriad trees display a painter's palette of green shades, rustling in tune with the soft breeze as the peacocks spread their plumage. Welcome to O.P. Jindal Global University. In perfect harmony, unseen avian and other visitors go about their circadian duties. In these idyllic surroundings, 6,500 students begin their day in quest of knowledge and wisdom. The corridors begin to beat to the tempo of rushed feet and the sounds of classrooms. Paper rustles, pen scribbles, keyboard pound as the hours go by. A place where one dreams big, aiming to make history. A place that inspires, makes one inspire others, and also get inspired by others. This is the exceptional and inimitable educational experience at India's global university. Each day marks the beginning of a new idea, a new vision, and a new story. Each day ends with a sense of fulfillment in everyone. Watching over India's best and brightest students is the tallest flagpole displaying the Indian tricolour, a culmination of the efforts of the founding Chancellor and benefactor of JGU, Mr. Naveen Jindal, which empowered private individuals and institutions to hoist the Indian national flag in pride. It is a gentle reminder of our goals, aspirations, values, duties, and responsibilities. On the edge of the national capital region of Delhi, in the city of Sonipat, in the serene Jagdishpur village, you will easily forget the proximity of a bustling city, thanks to the verdant landscape, arable fields, and lush vegetation. Amidst this genius of nature, JGU stands resplendent. JGU's architecture merges finally into these pristine surroundings, where its uniquely designed academic block stands testimony to the institution's vision, creativity, and intellect. JGU promotes equal opportunity and inclusive education. It has welcomed differently abled people, and the campus has been designed to ensure their ease of use as per international standards. The Global Library offers flexi spaces and the right ambience for study and learning. We believe in creating a broadening and holistic learning experience to students, one not restricted to classrooms. After an intellectually strenuous day, students make their way to sports arenas abundant in amenities, including an 8-lane swimming pool, badminton courts, table tennis center, cricket ground and practice pitches, lawn tennis courts, football grounds, volleyball ground, basketball courts, recreational and fitness centers, well-resourced gymnasium, and a multi-purpose sports arena. Sports and fitness activities are an integral means of individual development. Student sport under the guidance of qualified coaches. For those who prefer cerebral alternatives, there are activities which create intramural and extramural opportunities for students. Debates, reading groups, book clubs, quizzes, music, and creative arts to choose from. The specially designed Agora, colloquially called the Adda, is site to activities like plays, dance performances, and cultural events. Through moot courts, students sharpen their mooting and advocacy skills. Moot court competitions gather on campus young minds from across India and many nations to engage in incisive debate. During Biswamil, the annual Student Cultural Fest, and Magnus and the Jindal Sports League, the Sports Fests, students let their hair down and paint the town red. A fully residential university, the JGU campus serves as a home away from home and an enabling ecosystem for intellectual networking and social interaction. A decade ago, we had a vision to build a world-class university in India with a sustainable approach towards the environment and protecting our biodiversity. We continue to preserve the natural habitat of our avian and other visitors, integrating them with nature. As dusk sets in over the landscape, as horizon turns crimson in the silhouetted buildings of JGU, another great day spent in teaching and learning in joyful pursuit of knowledge draws to an end. Leaving libraries and study rooms lit by midnight lamps for solo pursuit of knowledge. Tomorrow will be another ascension, another sunshine, another awakening in self-discovery. The JGU journey continues.
Those were a few glimpses of the university campus. We hope you all like those visuals of our campus. It is now my privilege and honor to introduce our chief guest for the 10th Convocation ceremony, Mr. Amitabh Kant. Mr. Amitabh Kant served in the Indian Administrative Service and was from the 1980 batch of Kerala cadre. During his tenure as an Indian Administrative Service officer, Mr. Kant was a key driving force in spearheading some of the popular government programs and campaigns, such as Make in India, Startup India, and not to forget the famous campaigns of Incredible India and God's Own Country, which positioned and branded India and the state of Kerala as a leading manufacturing and tourism destination. Mr. Kant is also credited for conceptualizing the campaign Atiti Devo Bhava, which translates as Guest is God. This campaign trained taxi drivers, guides, immigration officials, and made them stakeholders in the tourism development process in India. His other initiatives include the Ease of Doing Business initiative and popularizing the system of digital payments in our country. These campaigns have won several international awards and generated a host of activities such as infrastructure development, product enhancement, and of course, bolstered public-private partnerships and positioned not just the state of Kerala, but more importantly, India on the world map. Mr. Kant is also a recipient of multiple prestigious awards and accolades, including the Sir Edmund Hillary Fellowship Award conferred by the Prime Minister of New Zealand and the Golden Peacock Award for Leadership in Economic Transformation awarded to him in 2017. In addition to his contributions as an IAS officer, Mr. Kant is also the author of some widely read books such as Branding India, an Incredible Story that was published in 2009. His second book is titled The Path Ahead, Transformative Ideas for India. And his most recently published book that was released in 2019 is Incredible India 2.0, Synergies for Growth and Governance. Given his illustrious service in some of the key portfolios and departments in the government of India, In 2016, Mr. Kant was appointed as the CEO of the National Institution for Transforming India, also known as the Niti Aayog, where he continues to serve as one of the most influential policy makers in our country. It is indeed our privilege, sir, to have you amidst us this evening on the occasion of the 10th Convocation Ceremony and Founders Day of OP Jindal Global University. I now request our chief guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, Chief Executive Officer, Niti Aayog, to deliver the convocation address.
The graduating students of OP Jindal Global University, founding Chancellor Mr. Naveen Jindal, founding Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar, the renowned professors and staff, parents of graduating students and distinguished guests. I'm truly delighted to be addressing all of you on the 10th convocation of the OP Jindal Global University. I'm also delighted that this is the 91st birth anniversary of a very distinguished entrepreneur of the country, Mr. OP Jindal. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the students for having completed their studies and upon their graduation from this truly world-class university, amidst the various challenges that have been brought about due to the COVID-19 pandemic. These were truly tough and challenging times for everyone, and I must commend you for overcoming these challenges, continuing your studies and your hard work, and earning your very well-deserved degree. I'm extremely happy to be among all of you on a very, very important and significant day in your lives. Today, when you step out of this great institution with your degree, you will be entering a completely new world, a different world than what you and I were accustomed to. Since March 2020, and it has been about a year and a half, the world was thrown into a crisis by the COVID-19 pandemic, and this has changed the status quo and brought about a new normal. Today, we need very determined and passionate young people who are capable of taking on the many challenges that have been brought about by the disruption of the pandemic. Over the past few years, countries across the world worked to lift millions of people out of poverty, but this pandemic could undermine those efforts, pushing many back into the poverty trap. Therefore, the world has many more challenges than it had a year and a half ago, and many of you would be out there tackling those challenges in some way or the other through whichever profession you choose. Today, you have a new range to choose from, and I truly commend this unique university for the wide range of courses that it provides you with. Back in the day when I was graduating out of school, there were few options. You could either join the government or become a private sector executive. I chose the government, and I landed up in the backwaters of Kerala as a civil servant. I faced my own set of challenges in Kerala. Manufacturing had failed, the state was dominated by trade unions, and I also ran into trouble with politicians from the communist regime. I was left without a posting for a long time as a punishment. Then as a punishment, I was posted as tourism secretary, and it was considered as a punishment posting. No one had really heard of Kerala as a tourism destination. Everyone used to travel to Rajasthan or Kashmir or Goa. I decided to take this challenge head on and did not think of this posting as a crisis, instead using this opportunity to build Kerala as a high-value upmarket destination, and using a strategy which brought out the unique value proposition that Kerala had to offer. New products which were distinctive to the state, the backwaters which comprise of interconnected waterways, rivers, lakes and inlets, the cruises in the midst of such a beautiful landscape, the Kettu Vellams or the Kerala boats which are held together by ropes and on which not a single nail is used, the traditional art and cultural forms of Kerala, the Ayurveda and the Kerala cuisine, these were brought alive in a contemporary manner and presented to the world. All I did was to bring the real Kerala at the forefront at a moment of crisis in my life. We never copied the West and positioned and branded the real Kerala as God's own country. The result, Kerala became a high-value tourism destination for the alert independent traveler, and the National Geographic termed it as one of the 10 exotic paradises of the world. I was then posted as Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism. This posting could not have come at a more challenging time. There was war in Afghanistan, the Twin Tower attacks happened in New York, the Indian Parliament was attacked, and at a time when the vacancy in hotels was a mere 10% and our tourism sector had collapsed, we launched the Incredible India campaign. Even as travel advisories were issued by countries against travel to India. A 360-degree campaign against TV, across TV, digital and print. And that was the time when every other destination had withdrawn their marketing campaign. This led to a huge demand and this brought back tourists and sector witnessed a growth. New airlines came up, new routes were planned and new airports were built at Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi and Mumbai. Tourism became an avenue for growth, creating infrastructure and jobs. I'm narrating this because I always feel that a crisis is an opportunity. And that is why it is important for you to have an outlook which enables you to take challenges and crises head on and use them as an opportunity to bring about transformation instead of getting demotivated or accepting the status quo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an age of disruption. Every challenge is an opportunity. Today, you are an integral part of an India that is witnessing a truly phenomenal and transformational growth story, a lot of which is being increasingly driven by technology and young entrepreneurs. During my tenure in Kerala, I was tasked with improving the traditional fisheries sector of Kerala. We introduced the number of initiatives, forming self-help groups of fishermen, giving them fiberglass crafts with outboard motors and new fishing nets. The major challenge which remained was opening of bank accounts for fishermen. It took us almost 8 to 9 months of running around for a bank account to be opened. There was no know your customer at that time. And today, and I look at the paradigm shift, you can use your biometric to open a bank account in less than a minute. This has been made possible because of the ease with which bank accounts can be opened, the biometrics via Aadhaar and the availability of mobile phones through which financial transactions and governance services can be availed. This is what we popularly call the JAM Trinity. We have 1 billion plus biometrics, 1 billion plus bank accounts, and 1 billion plus mobile phones. We have one of the cheapest rates of data. We have over 700 million internet users, and every 3 seconds we add a new internet user every 3 seconds. Our consumer digital economy, which was pegged at about 90 billion in the calendar year 2020, is expected to become 800 billion by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a digital payment solution like no other in the form of Unified Payment Interface, the UPI. Do you know that UPI touched the 3 billion mark in volumes and 6 trillion in value of transaction in this July? From being launched in 2016 to crossing the 1 billion mark in 2019, and today, UPI is a leader in the world. The number of transactions on UPI are almost twice that on American Express, which started about 45 years back. And Amex globally is decades old, as you are aware. This is a true scale of transformation which India is witnessing. In fact, Google wrote to the US Federal Reserve applauding the successful implementation of UPI in India and recommended that the Federal Reserve System of USA should draw inspiration from India. Today, the internet has become the greatest enabler for millions of Indians to scale their passion and produce in businesses and interact with customers globally. The intersection of e-commerce and internet have created a robust ecosystem for Indian products and businesses to thrive in, be it produce tribal jewelry from Jharkhand, or dry fruit from Kashmir, or dance lessons from Chennai, or textiles from Orissa. This particular year, 2021, a year of crisis and pandemic, has been a defining milestone for the startup ecosystem in India. From a record number of IPOs to a record number of unicorns, the Indian tech system has come a very long way indeed. Zomato is already public and was oversubscribed 40 times. And Paytm, Nykaa, Flipkart, Pepperfry, PhonePe, all are lined up next. IPOs will drive our startup revolution. Indian startups raising money in Indian markets from Indian public, and this is a wonderful time to be a unique startup in India. Almost 15 startups have already made it to the Unicorn Club in the first 6 months of 2021. The first health tech, social commerce, and e-pharmacy unicorn were all witnessed this year. Indian startups are projected to rise well over 13.7 billion in funding this year. Gone are the days when subsidy transfers were full of leakages. We used to transfer money from center to the states and then to the panchayat to the people. At present, we undertake a cumulative direct benefit transfer of over 12 lakh crores in over 500 operational schemes across 56 ministries to the people of India. There's not a single paisa of leakage anywhere. Talking about digitization, and since some of you are from the law background, online dispute resolution in India has immense potential for solving disputes outside of the formal court system in an affordable and quick way. Advancement of transformative technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning, and blockchain can be increasingly embedded in our legal processes. The government of India has been working relentlessly to advance ease of doing business and ease of living. In the World Bank ease of doing business, we've jumped up 79 positions. Our target is to reach the top 25 in the next 2 years. Online dispute resolution is at the focal point of both ease of doing business and ease of living. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running the largest outcome-based governance program in the world from Niti Aayog, the Aspirational District Program, where we have leveraged collaboration, convergence, and competition to foster the development of the districts of India, which were considered to be the most backward. Today, the program has been lauded by the UNDP, and so much so that it was concluded that many of our aspirational districts are doing better than the other non-aspirational districts of the country. Technology and data have been key enabler of our success here. This has fostered competitive federalism in India, where healthy competition between districts is leading to improved socio-economic outcomes. Two key sectors that have received a massive impetus under the Digital India program are health and education. These are crucial for improving the overall quality of lives of Indian citizens. In the hinterland of India, beneficiary cards are considered to be lifesavers for many, doing away with the various pillars and posts that one had to run for equitable access to health. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is a unique blend of healthcare and technology and is the most comprehensive cashless, contactless, paperless, and digital health insurance scheme in the world that covers over 500 million citizens in India. And 500 million citizens is equivalent to the population of the entire Europe. The Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana, along with the National Digital Health Mission, which will give a digital health identity to every Indian, will massively improve end-to-end healthcare delivery in India. It will take a totally technology-enabled data integration and standardization approach. An example that truly resounds with the vision for a connected healthcare system emerges from an aspirational district in western Uttar Pradesh. Chitrakoot, in spite of its development challenges, has wonderfully leveraged common service centers, village-level entrepreneurs, and ASHA workers to build an effective telemedicine delivery mechanism for all residents of the districts. Under this intervention, patients in remote areas could avail specialist care without having to travel from their homes to hospital, saving considerable time and money. I'm giving these examples because my belief is that all of you have been educated as in one of the top world-class university is the Jindal Global University. You are very privileged. You are very fortunate to have such top-class infrastructure. In fact, I was very keen to visit the university. I requested Professor Rajkumar that I should get an opportunity to visit, but alas, he's invited me only digitally today. And I will take this opportunity because I was truly impressed with this wonderful film that you showed on the greenery around your campus. And therefore, I'll take this opportunity post the COVID period to personally visit when all the students are also present there. Ladies and gentlemen, digitization and internet penetration have contributed phenomenally towards improving learning outcomes for students across India. We will continue to see this movement forward. During the pandemic, several online learning initiatives deployed by the government, Diksha, ePathshala, Swayam, played an instrumental role in ensuring continued education for students in some of the most remote corners of the country. As you embark on your professional journeys, remember the future lies in sunrise areas of growth. India's urban population will double in the next decade. More than 500 million people will live, work, and travel in Indian cities. This rapid growth will pose several social, economic, and environmental challenges for India. India must take the lead to build new industries that will accelerate growth and create jobs, much like Mr. O.P. Jindal had done. This transformation is feasible when we advance technology, foster innovation, and become champions in emerging areas of global growth. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and in recent times, China focused on sunrise sectors. They unleashed a wave of reforms and embraced innovation to grow on sustained basis for a long period. For 3 decades or more, they continued to grow. And therefore, they eliminated poverty and the per capita incomes rose in these countries. In India, the key to disruptive transformation lies in the sunrise areas of growth. These are areas such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, genomics, clean mobility and electric vehicles, advanced forms of battery storage, green hydrogen, genomics and 5G technologies, among others. While you will have vast number of opportunities available to yourself, the key lies in your ability to leverage technology irrespective of the profession that you choose to pursue in your life. Today, the vast scale of data and the massive digital footprint is India's biggest strength for the technological leapfrogging. As India moves from being data-rich to data-intelligent, it will use machine learning and artificial intelligence to find solutions to a vast number of its challenges. Water availability, learning outcomes, health improvement, and enhanced agricultural productivity. In a large and diverse country like India, it is not only the introduction of new initiatives, but the ability to rapidly execute and to scale up programs to reach out to our 1.3 billion citizens that is central to achieving success. Technology has been the key driver to achieving that. If India is able to innovate for its challenges of water, health, education, and agriculture, we will be finding solutions not for the 1.3 billion people of India, but for the next 5 billion people of the world who will move from poverty to middle class in the coming decade. Students, your alma mater plays a huge role in your life. You are very fortunate, as I said, to have graduated from this unique university, from imparting education to making new friends and from learning valuable life skills to developing an extracurricular interest. Your university has shaped you as an individual. You should be proud that you're studying in a university which was founded as part of a philanthropic initiative in 2009. And in just little over 10 years, it has become one of the finest institutions of our country. I'm glad that the university has been ranked as India's #1 private university in the QS World Ranking 2021, while the Jindal Global Law School has been ranked #1 by subject in India by QS. In such a short span of time, the university has been named as an institute of eminence, making it one of the 10 private universities in India to have received the distinction. I'm truly delighted that today the university offers a wide range of courses across law, business, international affairs, government and public policy, liberal arts and humanities, journalism and mass communication, banking and finance, arts and architecture, environment, sustainability and psychology. OP Jindal Global University has rapidly scaled up in just few years to reach where it is now. And the management, faculty and students have played a big role in this achievement. If I was to go back to the university again, I will come back and join the OP Jindal Global University alone. The faculty who teach you are some of the very best and most distinguished in their fields, and the experience that you've gained here is truly global and world class. In order to grow, we must focus on research and development, and we must aim to innovate. I'm truly impressed that the research centers at OP Jindal Global University undertake research in some of the most important areas for India's holistic growth. The Center on IP and Competition. And this is really important to my mind because we need to build intellectual property rights. The Center on Social Entrepreneurship, as well as the Centers for Behavioral Science, which is very important because the Nash theory makes it very critical that we must be able to bring behavioral change. Higher education, research, and leadership development, which are so critical for India's sustained growth and progress. I'm sure that the research undertaken at these centers will allow students to broaden their horizon and help them solve some of the most important developmental challenges, not merely being faced in India, but across the world. I want to congratulate you all once again on your graduation day. You are all the young ambassadors of change and the drivers of the future of India and the world. As you embark on your professional journey, do not be bogged down by the opinions of others. You must choose your own career path, and all of them are unique, and no one path is better than the other. Whatever you've decided to do, become the best in that profession. Become the world's best. You have an equal opportunity to make a difference, whether you choose to become a lawyer, or a civil servant, or a musician, or a mountaineer, or a psychologist, or a professor, or indeed many other options that you will have that match not just your core competency, but what you choose something that you are truly passionate about, whether you want to be a sportsman or whether you want to be a great artist, whatever, be the world's best and be truly driven by it. The government itself has numerous opportunities for young and driven individuals such as yourself, whether through civil services or through lateral entry. At Niti Aayog, for instance, we have actively recruited lateral domain experts to help drive cutting-edge policy initiatives that can positively alter the change the course of India's role as a global policy leader. We will be very happy to have many of you work in Niti Aayog. You must believe in yourselves, adopt a positive approach to solve complex problems and challenges, and let your experiences shape your personal and professional journey, and indeed yourself as an individual. And I want to reiterate what Professor Rajkumar said, that on this day, you must be thankful to your parents and guardians and your teachers for not merely sending you to world-class university, and to your professors and teachers for aiding your learning journey. Whatever you are and whatever you become in the future will be a consequence of what your parents have done for you and how your teachers and your professors have aided this journey. In this post-COVID era, you should constantly challenge yourself, and you must strive to solve some of the most pressing challenges in this era. As you embark on your journey to realize your dreams, you will have to overcome several obstacles. This would require patience, perseverance, and fearlessness, and that is an absolute must for those who dare to dream and succeed. And I wish you all success and all progress and prosperity in life. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amitabh Kant. What an extraordinary and powerful and deeply inspiring convocation address. I know that everybody will listen to it, including all our graduating students, faculty, staff, and the parents of the students. Everybody would have been deeply inspired. We can't wait to bring you to campus and host you here, and we look forward to the opportunity of doing so. I want to extend our deep sense of gratitude for you to have taken time from your precious schedule on a weekend to be part of this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I must say that your speech augured so well that while you were speaking, India just won its first gold medal by Neeraj Chopra, who won the gold medal in javelin throw from Panipat, Haryana.
So the soil of Haryana has done a lot of good for India. I think produced some outstanding businessmen, produced outstanding university, and produced a gold medalist now.
Yes, very true. Absolutely.
Because it is the land of Haryana, Kurukshetra, that gave Bhagavad Gita to the world.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Kant. Really, really appreciate you.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. You can proceed with the program, Pastor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amitabh Kant, for your insightful and such a thought-provoking address. As we proceed further with the exhortation ceremony of the degree holders, may I now request the Honorable Chancellor of the OP Jindal Global University, Mr. Naveen Jindal, to admit students to their respective degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chancellor, I admit you to your respective degree of this university, and I charge you that ever in your life, through thoughts, action, and conversation, you prove yourselves worthy of the same.
Thank you, sir. Now, to celebrate the outstanding performance of our students who have demonstrated resilience and optimism through these difficult times, we will now be presenting the gold, silver, and bronze medals to our rank holders from various JGU schools.
Many congratulations to all the medal winners on their well-deserved success. We would now like to call upon our graduating student representatives from each school to briefly share their experiences at JGU. To begin with, I call upon our doctoral student from Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences, Cheng Fei Wei, who is a citizen of China, to share his experience.
Namaste. Greetings from China. I'm Chen Fei Wei, and it's my honor to. Namaste. Greetings from China. I'm Chen Fei Wei, and it's my honor to represent Behavioral Science Center as graduating PhD student. My greetings to respected Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and all other dignitaries. In the past 3 years of studying, what I want to express most is gratitude. As the first Chinese PhD student at JIPS, I have so many difficulties during my PhD program, like food adjustment, data surveys, thesis writing, and so on. First of all, I would like to acknowledge very special gratitude to my supervisor, Professor Dr. Sanjeev P. Sahani. Since I first joined JIPS, he has given me meticulous care in my studying and life. It is my great honor to be guided by Dr. Sahani. Secondly, I'm grateful to my co-supervisors, Professor Dr. Brajesh Kumar and Professor Dr. Anand Mishra. I would also like to thank the team at JIPS and the PhD office for providing me the opportunity. I'm very grateful to the Center for India and China Studies and the OP Jindal Global University for all the support. Without that, my PhD degree would not have been possible. Without that, I would not have had the chance to experience the culture of India. I deeply hope that the COVID-19 will soon be over and I can return to India and JGU. Finally, as a new lecturer at Nanjing University of Finance and Economics, I welcome you all to my university for teaching and visiting. Congratulations and the best wishes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your reflections, Cheng Fei. We now have Karishma, another PhD scholar from Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences, to share some of her reflections on her journey at the university.
A very good evening, everyone. My greetings to Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, our Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Jindal, our Honorable Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, Registrar, Professors, parents, and friends. I'm Karishma and I feel extremely honored today to represent the PhD program. I would like to start by extending my deepest gratitude to my PhD guide and teacher, Professor Sanjeev Sahani at Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences, without whom this journey would have not been possible. My special gratitude to my co-supervisor, Dr. Junakar, all the faculty members at Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences and Office of Doctoral Studies. I wish to share what Jindal Global University means to me. This is a place which I have called home from the last 3 years. By home, I don't mean the place where I've just lived, but the place where I have grown and been able to enrich myself intellectually and emotionally. To be honest, I feel overwhelmed while talking about the journey I had at JJU. As a PhD fellow, I was fortunate enough to be provided with a playground of knowledge and access to some intellectual giants, which we used to call professors. And the most amazing thing about the program was the openness towards learning and knowledge gaining rather than the mere degree grabbing. I'm proud to share that I was enrolled in courses where curiosity was never deterred, perfection and creativity were always inspired. While working on my thesis, I was constantly reminded and learned that it is not good to dwell and overthink when taking a decision, but it is to make a decision and then make it right with fervent vigor. Might sound cliche, but the most important variable of the journey was human factor. I've made some bonds with my peers and with my teachers, which will last for decades. I've made some memories that will always be etched in my mind. To conclude, I can't thank the university and everyone enough for providing me with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Not only on paper, rather to provide me with the knowledge and caliber to be a true researcher. A very congratulations to everyone and thank you so much.
Thank you, Karishma, for your wonderful speech. Now, We will have graduate and undergraduate students sharing their experiences of their time spent at JGU. To begin with, we have Aaron Anish Cherian from Jindal School of Banking and Finance, reminiscing about his time at the university.
Respected Chief Guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, Honorable Chancellor Naveen Jindal, Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Rajkumar, esteemed dignitaries, proud parents, and of course, the gallant warriors whose success we celebrate today. A very good evening to you all. My name is Aaron Anish Cherian, and it gives me great pleasure to address this gathering on behalf of the Jindal School of Banking and Finance, an institution I am proud to have called home for the past 3 years, an alma mater for the years that lie ahead. I really don't think I could do any justice to my speech without first highlighting the momentous journey of GSBF, an exemplary institution that now welcomes a 4th batch into its world-class educational experience. Behind this hard-fought success lies a foundation of steel from our founding Dean, Professor Dr. Michael Barnes, our current Dean, Professor Dr. Ashish Bharadwaj, our Vice Deans, and basically just every single member of faculty and administrative staff. You've been an inspiration to all of us, and for that, we remain indebted to you forever. Today, however, I'd like to celebrate the efforts of my wonderful batchmates in making JSPF what it is today. I still remember when we first started out, the 44 of us who took the leap of faith to join the pioneering batch of a school previously unheard of, who trusted the process and showed relentless courage. Today, I am proud to say that we have officially made history and will forever go down as the batch that started it all, the flag bearers of this prestigious institution and the trailblazers of its future. That being said, I am deeply honored to be a part of the first batch of India's first global finance school, the first president of its first student council, and now the first valedictorian of its first ever graduating batch. As cliched as it sounds, the memories and friendships I've made here are ones I'll cherish for a lifetime. So here's to the future hedge fund managers in their Armani suits, the venture capitalists, the investment bankers, the fintech disruptors, the partners, the entrepreneurs, and the visionaries. Here's to the JSPF class of 2021. Dream big and achieve bigger. The success is arbitrary, and most times in life, you never really get what you deserve. On the contrary, you get what you take. So be bold, show character, and most importantly, be absolutely ruthless. May you always take that leap of faith as you did here and find success and happiness in all your endeavors. To live is to suffer, but to survive is to find meaning in the suffering. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Aaron, for your delightful remarks. We now invite Ashima Pargal from Jindal School of Journalism and Communication to talk about her journey in the university.
Good evening. On behalf of the graduating batch of Jindal School of Journalism and Communication, I, Ashima Pargal, would like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, and our heartfelt congratulations and our heartfelt gratitude to our Chancellor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, Registrar, Professor Patnaik, Dean Professor Goldstein, and to all faculty members and staff of JGU for their invaluable efforts in making our journey fruitful. I would also like to thank our parents who have supported us throughout this journey. Being a JSJC student means being able to find a story in everything. It comes with hours of teamwork and supporting each other's ideas. It also means not being able to watch a movie or read a book without your professors having a group discussion over every detail in your mind while you're at it. Our assignments often came back with more comments than the text itself, and it was overwhelming at times, but it made us realize that there were people out there who cared enough to guide us so that we may become the best versions of ourselves. While learning by observing people, events, and incidents, we became a little more kind, empathetic, and aware of our privilege. At JGU, we were brought into an environment that taught us to accept people for who they were and to raise a voice when things were not right. And all of us have been nostalgically recollecting our time on campus over the past year. This common experience has helped us to unite and be there for each other in the most unique ways. We improvised in the face of change and made the most of what was ahead of us. And perhaps that's what life's all about. Some days you get the comfort of calling up your friend at 1 a.m. for a cup of hot chocolate and a long walk without a care in the world. Some days you get to dance to the loudest of beats. But sometimes life tosses you around like a dear old flag on a rainy day. But even in the darkest of times, there will always be a story to tell. So allow yourself to understand and accept the reality, because even the worst of times have lessons for us. Above all, be kind to others and to yourself. I'm grateful that we're all still here. Now we're heading out with a gate pass to life. I hope we can make our families and institution proud. Here's to the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashima, for sharing your cheerful speech with us. To share her reflections, we now invite Tia Singh from Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities.
Good evening to our esteemed chief guest, other honorable dignitaries, members of faculty, friends, and proud parents. I am Tia Singh from the BALS program, and it is a pleasure to speak on behalf of the GSLS 2018 batch. This speech is a way of saying goodbye to a place that has functioned as our home in every sense of the word. As we find ourselves at crossroads, it's important for us to look back. We've indeed come a long way from having to explain what a liberal arts education entails to curious relatives, to becoming proud graduates who are surer of themselves as they venture out in the real world. JSU has not only been an institution, but a force that has altered our lives in a multitude of ways. The learning was never stuck to the rigid confines of the classroom and always encouraged us to transcend the boundaries of daily life. At every step of the way, we found comfort, support systems in the form of faculty, whom we owe so much to, the friendships we forged, and the memories we lived. A strong sense of community pulsated through each corner of our campus, humanizing our education for us. Our classes at JSLH were designed not for complacency, but for questioning the answers, the narratives, and the constructs. Where does all this questioning leave us, though? In a good place, I believe. For we've learned that it's much better to be uncomfortable and searching than to be comfortable and stagnant. We spend so much of our lives, not just for ourselves, but for others. So I'd urge you to move forward by asking critical questions of each of the choices you make, of not just how the choice affects you, but equally importantly, how it affects others. Let compassion and empathy be our starting point. Ask the questions that no one is asking so that you may arrive at answers that no one else may have found. For now, I'm comforted to think that JGU will always be our safe haven, a time to look back to with a wide smile. Thank you.
Thank you, Tia, for your thoughtful speech. From Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities, we now have Medini Mothai to reflect on her journey.
A very good evening to all the respected dignitaries, our professors, and the graduating students. The pilot year of the Jindal Fellowship Program is going to be remembered as the year that began with Professor Yugang's 9 a.m. Future Studies classes and ended with 4 p.m. online support groups on Monday afternoons, filled with equal amounts of the occasional stress, laughter, and confusion. We found ourselves supporting each other and taking turns to keep each other's spirits up during these unprecedented and unfortunate times. It didn't matter that some of us had never met before or we were complete strangers, because we panicked together, we cheered each other on together, and most importantly, we graduated together while marking ourselves as the very first graduating batch of the Jindal Fellowship Program. And I truly hope that we've made you proud. I remember we spent the first week of the program predicting when we'd be able to visit campus. Some said October, some said never. Unfortunately, the latter came true. To be graduating through a screen when we could have been sitting through Delhi heat, trying not to tear up at the fact that we were now a bunch of talented graduates ready to take on the world, will always be a bittersweet memory to me. Everyone who knows me knows the bond I have with the Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities. It has and will always be my second home. And despite spending the last year away from the lovely campus that I often got lost in until my last year, the presence of the community kept me going. It helped me find direction and helped me overcome the uncertainty the past few months brought with it. I'm eternally grateful to have been given this chance to speak, because I want to scream a loud thank you to the entire JFP faculty. Thank you to Professor Yugang for making JFP happen, for playing such an integral role in our achievements, and for being a tech savvy whenever we needed you. Thank you to our mentors and our course directors for being there every step of the way with words of motivation, kindness, and endless support until we hit that dreadful submit button on the last day of our dissertation. You have reminded us to take care of ourselves, to take a break when we ourselves didn't know we needed one, and you have always helped us power through our battles. Ideally, I would have ended this speech with a mic drop and an instant apology to the sound team for it. But I will settle with an I love you, which is directed at all my professors, my friends, and the entire school of JSLH for being the most perfect, the safest, and the warmest group of people I could have ever been blessed with. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Medini, for sharing your reflections. Let's now have Sabasu Sai Vishal from Jindal School of Government and Public Policy to say a few words about his time at JGU.
Good evening to the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans, faculty, parents, and fellow graduates. I am Vishal, graduating from the MA Public Policy course at the Jindal School of Government and Public Policy. Words cannot explain the joy I'm feeling at this moment. In the past 18 months, the world had seen a roller coaster of emotions and feelings. The world had no choice but to innovate ways to do things and processes at a faster and an efficient pace, from expediting the vaccine creation to creating lockdown policies to pushing for structural economic and education reforms. It were people and most importantly, the institutions that were behind such bold endeavors. Today, I'm proud to say that I'm graduating from one such institution, JSGP of JGU. JGU is one of those institutions who saw hope, self-belief, and opportunity in these difficult times and helped us through it. It takes motivation for a person to reach his goal, to reach his or her goals. But I must say, more often than not, it is the institutional framework, the infrastructure, the people that one surrounds himself with that matter. I was surrounded by the best minds and I was taught by the best minds at JSGP. At this moment, I can proudly say that JSGP has equipped me with the skills, mindset, emotional quotient for me to pursue the kind of life and capabilities that I value. I congratulate every other student who's graduating and I wish them all the luck and success in their future careers. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for your wonderful speech, Vishal. We now have Divyansh Singh Parihar from Jindal School of Government and Public Policy, reminiscing about his time at JGU.
Respected dignitaries and my fellow graduates, it is an absolute honor to be part of the 10th Convocation ceremony. I am Divyansh Singh Parihar, speaking on behalf of the BA Honours Economics, class of 2021, reflecting on my journey in JGU and JSGP. At the start of our journey, we began our search for finding the right blocks, ventures to locate the right classrooms in this strange place. With these trivial searches, our journey began. And over the 3 years, we realized that the true search was to find the roles that we aspire to play. Now, at the end of our journey in this institution, we venture out in the world in our attempt to improve the status quo. All things that are with most spirit chased and enjoyed. This loosely translates to the journey is the most important part. Is the journey that matters. This is indeed true. Our journey over the 3 years was rather different than the traditional college experience that we had hoped for, but yet joyous. At the start of this journey, I was anxious and perplexed. But as time passed, I navigated through this place literally and metaphorically. And as this happened, it became my home far away from home. I aspired to explore the different opportunities that this place had to offer, open myself to newer roles, changes, challenges that made me grow as a person and as a scholar. After all, education is the aid that provides us the tools to navigate our paths in the world. And JSGP has equipped us with the best ones to do so. Although our time on campus was limited, it was enough for new friendships to nurture during dinner conversation, midnight strolls of the campus, or sunbathing on the football field. Even when our thoughts did not converge, it provided us the opportunities to challenge ourselves, rethink, reshape, and realign our thoughts. Over the course of time, this group coalesced into a neighborhood of diverse ideas and coalesced us into a community. Throughout this journey, as our thoughts got reshaped by the knowledge, ideas, and life lessons imparted by the JSGP family, our aspirations changed. As we stand here today at the fruition of our education at JGU, we have arrived at our destination. To amend the words of Robert Frost, the campus is lovely, beautiful, and scenic, but we have promises to keep, and miles to go before we sleep, and miles to go before we sleep. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Divyansh, for sharing your experience. We now invite Sahil Philip from Jindal School of International Affairs to talk about his journey at the university.
Well, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would first like to take this opportunity to welcome all the respected dignitaries present here, including the Honorable Chief Guest, our Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, faculty members, friends, family, and all my esteemed batchmates gathered here, patiently waiting for each speech to get over. I was asked to motivate you with my words, and I'll try and do my best. As my fellow speakers have mentioned earlier, Well, we made it. Though mentally most of us graduated in March last year, there were a few hopefuls who thought that maybe this is going to be the semester that we finally attend classes again. And well, here we are at our convocation. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to talk about, so I thought to myself, how different am I today from the Sahil who entered campus 3 years ago? Maybe I don't feel scared of dogs anymore. Maybe I don't dislike paneer anymore. But most importantly, I have learned to make bold mistakes. We all make mistakes all the time. I know for a fact that I do. Have I learned from all these mistakes? Well, maybe not. But these definitely have been the guiding principles which have made me experience new people, new things. And JSIA has been the medium for this. Let's all take a second and think about how far each one of us has come over the past 3 years. From our first ever class together to the time the entire batch pulled an all-nighter right before the political science exam in first semester, only for the professor to later send the question paper at midnight. We've all grown as a group. Which brings me to the point of thanking all the JSIA faculty members and the administration for being so involved in our growth. Thank you all for being so supportive and understanding, especially during the time of the pandemic when my laptop was mysteriously hacked, which obviously warranted a deadline extension of 15 days. As we finally realize that our undergraduate days are coming to an end, I see it as the end of our time to freeload. Despite this, I hope that you go out there and make that mistake. Make sure that you choose the wrong degree for your master's and pay thousands in student loans, but make sure that you make that mistake. These are the things that will help us grow and evolve as young graduates. I would like to make sure that the graduating batch makes all mistakes in the foreseen future, and all the best for whatever things that you plan to do in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahil, for your words. To share her reflection, we now invite Geeta Gupta from Jindal School of International Affairs.
Distinguished Mr. Jindal, Chancellor of the University, Professor Raj Kumar, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sridhar Patnaik, Registrar, Deans, and other members of the faculty, fellow JGU students, and ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. I'm Medha Gupta, representing MADLB, and it's an honor to share my reflections. It has been a long 2 years. I did not then think that jokes about online classes during those smoggy winter months would come back to torment us. Nevertheless, whether attending classes lying prone on the bed or doing contortions on the balcony, we have finally made it here. At first, we felt lost and overwhelmed. We did not understand the professors' teaching styles and did not keep pace. 2 years later, we found ourselves requesting those same professors to float new courses or begging them to increase their student intake. Kudos to the administrative and academic offices for making those requests possible. Our professors have been our staunchest supporters, from giving us weird nicknames to telling us rambling stories about their own experiences, from intense debates about current affairs to sharing mildly traumatizing documentaries. Each experience taught us more than we realized. We were consumed by academic demands, struggling to keep our heads above the torrent of essays and research papers. And along the way, we acquired the skills to carve a niche for ourselves. How to think, how to argue, how to bring our best at the table. JSIA polished the raw gems we were. Despite this huge test which life has thrown at us, we have shown our mettle. The faculty, the administration, and the dean have all had our backs. They encouraged us to challenge ourselves, to take lessons from their experience as practical guidance. We took our professors along with us on our journey, even as they guided us to our destinations. And finally, we have arrived. Congratulations, MADLB. We've graduated. The battle just got tougher, but the last 2 years have prepared us well. It is now our time to make history. Thank you.
Thank you, Medha, for your great speech. From Jindal Global Business School, we now invite Manika Singh to reflect on her journey.
Good evening to our Honorable Chief Guest, Chancellor Sir, Vice Chancellor Sir, Registrar Sir, our esteemed professors, staff members, proud parents, and my fellow graduates. So, we finally made it. Congratulations to JGU's graduating class of 2021. I am Manika Singh, a gratified student of MBA 2019 batch. Every end has a new beginning. Today might officially be the last day as students of JGBS, but our real life begins here. I'm sure the day must be still afresh in everyone's mind when we were left home 2 years back pursuing MBA from Jindal. Prepared to learn, explore, make new friends, and discover ourselves, we were skeptical, yet all set for this new route. Life in JGU has been like coming out of the bed and landing onto the couch. The culture is so warm, it felt like homecoming. The challenging discomfort has made us stronger and confident today. We spent just a semester and a half on the campus as the nasty COVID-19 pandemic hit, but we were lucky to create some beautiful memories in that shortest span. Every little encounter, be it the unprecedented lockdown, uncertainties, or the burden of MS Teams classes, it was enriching and will remain etched in our hearts lifelong. Remember, guys, our first 8 a.m. class of Asim sir? Fear of Chitrakalpa sir, surprise dean visits, sleepy accountancy classes, OCS, SPR duties, all-night studies in the reading room, the adrenaline rush for every presentation, sitting in Adda, bunking classes, gala time at flagpole, playing Ludo in class, badminton, Uno, tapri ki chai, IITBC at Amul, finding lamest of lame reasons to skip food at mess to go food court, crazy fests, snacking on the vending machines, and not to forget, making excuses that our mics weren't working, and weak internet connectivity. I'm sure everyone would have their own set of Jindal story to tell. The unwashable saga of JGU. Well, a big thank you to the entire JGU family for everything. Special thanks to Professor Mayank, Professor Brajesh, Professor Anshu, and Professor Sunita for putting their heart and soul into us. Commendable efforts put up by our CRs, COCOs, Student Council, professors, OCS, and the administration deserves our sincere gratitude. Finally, congratulations to all. Wish we bring laurels to our alma mater. Have a successful life ahead, Jindalites. Adios and bon voyage. Signing off with a very heavy heart, Manika Singh.
Thanks for sharing your reflections, Manika. Let's now have Preksha Tekriwal from Jindal Global Business School to say a few words about her time at JGU.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, respected Chief Guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, respected Vice Chancellor, Professor C. Raj Kumar, Registrar Sir, Professor Patnaik, our Business School Dean, Professor Mayank Dhodiyal, faculty, parents, and the amazing class of 2021 of Integrated BBA MBA. I am Preksha Tekriwal from the 2021 batch of Integrated BBA MBA, and I am going to share the feeling we have on the day of our convocation on behalf of our batch. As I stand here today, I am full of reminiscence of what a roller coaster ride it has been. I can say that our experience truly justifies what they say about college. It doesn't teach you subjects, it teaches you about life. I want to thank the faculty of JGBS for their unparalleled support. You truly are our heroes. I still think back to the day when we were dabbling between university choices, but what pushed us over to JGBS was its world-class faculty. What sets the JGBS apart is that they empathize with you and they go beyond their roles to support you. On this day, I want to specially thank our Vice Dean, Professor Brajesh Kumar, and our Assistant Deans, Professor Manisha Mishra and Navedita Hildar, for their immense support and guidance. Now to the class of 2021. Congratulations, we've done it. All the hard work has finally paid off and we're ready to take the next big step in life. If I were to describe this journey, which all of us have lived together, in one word, it would be more. Because JGBS always offered more, be it more diversity, more opportunities, and more support. The opportunities and experiences at JGBS channel the same spirit of molding us into better leaders who are now ready to run the world. At JGBS, I proudly say that we boast the most loving atmosphere where friendship is fostered and support exists and expands. The fun, the energy, and the liveliness of JGBS is what makes this a special place to be. We are a class that has done something never known before. You see, all of us have had a roller coaster ride, from week-long quarantines to distance learning. We did it as a family together. Thus, concluding with the fact that some say graduation means an end to studying. However, graduation is not the end. It celebrates past achievements while anticipating for the future. It unfolds for you many possible paths in life. But remember, do not follow the path where you may lead. Go instead where there's no path and leave a trail for yourself. Congratulations, we all have done it.
Thank you, Presha, for sharing your experience. We now invite Ronak Gupta from Jindal Global Business School, reminiscing about her life at JGU.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, respected Chancellor Sir, Vice Chancellor Sir, Registrar Sir, esteemed professors, staff members, families, and fellow graduates. On this end of screen is Ronak Gupta from BBA Honours, representing the class of 2021. On behalf of them, I say welcome to everyone and thank you for celebrating this special day with us. Class of 2021, we have spent over 1100 days as students of JGBS. And how many of them do you remember as we became the Jindal family? Pretty sure most of them. I would begin by recognizing our parents, families, and loved ones who have been motivating us to accomplish, our professors for imparting their wisdom, and all support staff whom we have witnessed firsthand display their resilience amidst this challenging times. I would like to give special thanks to our Vice Dean Brijesh Kumar, both the ADs Chitrakalpa Sir and Shubhamoy Sir, and Professor Meenakshi for having our back always. On behalf of the graduates of 2021, I thank you all for being our foundation and support system. And of course, to my fellow graduates, congratulations. We have finally reached the culmination of our undergraduate journey. We came to JGU 3 years ago with great expectations. And while graduating today tells me only one thing, that our expectations have been met fully and completely. In fact, we are super delighted. The ball has now been thrown at us to transform our lives, families, community, humanity in general. Life is a complex phenomena for some, and for others, it's walk in the park. But for us, it was walk in the classrooms at 8 a.m., a cup of coffee and discussion with professors, spending the night studying in library, fest to bond over, internships to network, and semester exchanges to begin the everlasting friendships. Today, as we are taking another step to transformation with valuable life from lessons, I'm proud to say that JGU have let us to grow. We are different from the individuals when we first got here. We have transcended to new humanity, humanity that appreciates diversity and empathy. The success we are celebrating today was conditioned by the risk we took and garnished by the cultural exchanges we have shared in JGU. Maybe we'll not remember the theories we studied in 8 a.m. classes, but we'll surely remember the love we have shared here. Before we leave, let's pledge, no matter what we'll do, we'll never forget the roots we bloom from and make JGU proud with our every step. To conclude, I'll quote Dr. Mayank Dondial's words, if it is not us who are learning from our experiences, then others shall learn from our lives and they'll become better than us. Adios and congratulations. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ronak, for your delightful speech. We now invite Sakshi Jolly from Jindal Global Law School to talk about her journey in the university.
Thank you, ma'am. I, Sakshi Jolly, deem it a great pleasure and honor to address this 10th convocation ceremony of OP Jindal Global University. On behalf of the graduating LLM batch of Jindal Global Law School, we welcome the founding Chancellor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, the Vice Chancellor, Professor C. Rajkumar, the guest of honor, Mr. Amitabh Kant, the Registrar, Professor Sridhar Patnaik, and other esteemed faculty, family, and my fellow dear graduates of the class of 2021. Nora Ephron once said, your education is a dress rehearsal for a life that is yours to lead. It seems only yesterday that we attended the orientation session and were all geared up for the collective bidding for our electives. From making friends and MS teams to interacting with all the professors virtually, we are the only batch here today who has never been on the campus, but we all have come a long way. I heartily congratulate the class of 2021 for this incredible accomplishment, especially during these unprecedented times. Though we would have loved to be a part of the regular campus studies, still kudos to all the staff at JGU for never letting us feel that the online studies were anyway lesser than having a full-blown classroom experience. I am sure the nitty-gritty of the real world will be well tackled by all of us because of the practical teaching methods and all those late-night assignments with hypothetical problems. At JGU, we were trained to expand our horizons, quit our comfort, and strive for more. I can proudly vouch that pursuing the master's degree from JGU has turned out to be no less than an international exposure. For the exchange students, quite literally. JGLS turned out to be not only as my institute, but also a place where I found my family and my forevers. The constant guidance received from eminent persons in this institute has directed us to follow a truthful path. I would like to thank Professor C. Rajkumar, who with his heartfelt messages always reached out to us. Professor Vishwas Devaya, who made the LLM batch what it is today and resolved every trivial matter faced by the students. And Professor Manmeet Singh, who was befriended by every student and was there on a beck and call even at 11 in the night. I am thankful to the library staff for easing up the digital resources, the examinations department for reverting to every email they received, and last but not least, the entire administration team at JGLS, especially Ms. Anita Shibu, for being there straight from the admission process till the convocation. Given the time constraint, I cannot mention the names of the other respected faculty members who took great pains in nurturing the talents within all of us. But we could not have asked for a better support system, and I'm thankful to each one of you. I would like to end with the saying from Dr. Seuss. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Hold that thought and live in this moment because all of you deserve to be here. Congratulations to the batch of 2021.
Thank you, Sakshi, for your wonderful speech. To share her reflections, we now invite Niharika Modgil from Jindal Global Law School.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening, honorable guest, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans and faculty of all schools, and our parents. I, Niharika Modgil, on behalf of the graduating class of LLB, am humbled to be here today. Class of 2021, I distinctly remember how the first week of law school felt insurmountable. And don't get me wrong, I do not mean the course load or the heap of readings or even the cold calls. I mean trying to find the mezzanine floor and T3. But 3 years and an obscene amount of caffeine later, here we are, graduating, albeit from our homes. I would be amiss to not acknowledge the magnitude of what we as a people are persevering through right now. There is much to say about the pandemic and the systemic inequalities it has exacerbated. But as a law student, I restrict myself to that of inequality in access to education. We, in our times at Jindal, have had the privilege to continue ours without any delay or additional burden with the help of premier faculty, support staff, and EdTech. However, barriers to education are physical as much as they are cultural. And at this moment, we can all agree that remote education could catalyze access and opportunities for a lot more students and children previously out of their reach. The question then is, can we, like our university, challenge the status quo and embrace change? The LLB program and my batchmates to me represent a more diverse set of individuals than any other class in our university. It hosts students from varied fields, backgrounds, and worldviews, preventing an educational echo chamber. During an era when the 3-year course is dwindling, our university is creating a niche for it. Our batch has seen the first ever director LLB in Professor Dr. Manmeet Singh. And so class of 2021, to you and on your behalf, I hope for us to be powerful in our thoughts and actions as we go out there. I hope we remember to cherish diversity and to hold dear inclusion and equity. All the very, very best and flourish. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Niharika, for sharing your reflections with us. From Jindal Global Law School, we now have Sahib Noor Singh Sidhu to reflect on his journey.
Thank you. Honorable Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans, faculty members, students, and most importantly, parents of the students of OP Jindal Global University, good evening. On behalf of the graduating class of 2021 of BLLB Honors, I am Sahib Noor Singh Sidhu, and congratulations to us, all of us. I must thank my preceding valedictorians for highlighting the beautiful memories we've all shared on campus. Right from when both the Adda and the food court were non-AC open structures to the setting up of the Honey Hut. I could not have expressed that better myself. But as I stand here today, I am reminded of FDR, who at a 1932 convocation said, and I quote, "As you have viewed this world, of which you're about to become a more active part. I have no doubt that you have been impressed by its chaos. Now, as we venture out into one of the most chaotic world settings, it is because of having spent half a decade learning with and from a cohort of incredibly talented peers and the best legal minds of our times that I feel hopeful. Therefore, I say to all of you, you go out there and be academicians, lawyers, judges, or CEOs, or you go out there and open a cafe, a gallery, a motor garage, or a tattoo parlor. But you will always be remembered for your grit, your adaptability, and your resolve in a time of great uncertainty. Each one of us who made it through juggling multiple responsibilities, managing our mental health, and avoiding a deadly virus which took away almost 3 physical semesters, we will always inspire awe and admiration from the world. As in 1932, while graduating during a global economic downfall might not command hope, I want us all to remember this, that life is too challenging for external rewards to sustain us. The joy is in the journey. And what a journey indeed it has been. And what a journey I am sure each one of us will have ahead. Therefore, I take this great privilege on behalf of the largest graduating batch of this convocation, the 2021 class of BA LLB, to thank the university administration, every member of the support staff, the faculty, and students across batches and schools for this experience of a lifetime. As we move into the professional world, may we forever remain true to our roots. May we forever be humble and open to learning. And most importantly, may we define success in our own unique ways. Thank you. Bachchan.
Thank you, Sahib Noor, for sharing your remarkable speech. Last but not the least, let's now have Shruti Khaitan from Jindal Global Law School to say a few words about her time at university.
A very good evening to our Honorable Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans, Faculty, and everyone present here. I'm Shruti Khaitan from the BBA LLB class of 2016 at Jindal Global Law School. My heart is full of emotions as I stand here today. As cliche as it may sound, it seems like it was yesterday that we entered the doors of our university as a bunch of clueless freshers. And I think I speak for my entire batch when I say that between wake me up cappuccinos at Nescafe to midnight Amul runs, running late for morning lectures, to asking for extensions for almost all our submissions, none of us could have predicted how much we would grow over the course of these 5 years at law school. Today is a day to celebrate our success. While it may not have been how we envisioned it to be, today is the day to reflect on the achievements we've arrived at while overcoming our own unique set of challenges. But most of all, it is the day to express our gratitude to those who have made these achievements possible. I would like to use this opportunity to thank our professors, administrators, and staff who are not just brilliant scholars, but are profoundly good people who've cared deeply for each of us. I would like to thank my peers who've not only been a source of constant support and encouragement, but have fostered an environment of positive competition, pushing us all to give our best. Graduating from this place entrusts us with a terrifying amount of power. My hope for us all is that we use this power to do good in the world. That when we foster legal problems, we think beyond the law. That we celebrate the diversity that surrounds us, and that we foster a culture of respect for the differences that make us unique. And most of all, as Mindy Kaling once said, don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something, especially not yourself. Go conquer the world. And on that note, I would just like to say, congratulations, class of 2021. It was one hell of a ride, but we did it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shruti. A big thank you to all the graduating student representatives for your heartwarming valedictory speeches. We are touched. Your songs, stories, and sagas will always echo around our campus and in our hearts. We will now, with great honor and joy, proceed with the video presentation
of virtual award of degrees to the graduating students. We begin with the highest degree conferred by the university, which is PhD. This time, the PhD degrees are being awarded to the doctoral students from Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences and Jindal Global Business School. Hearty congratulations, graduates. We will now have award of degree for Bachelor of Arts Honours in Built Environment Studies of Jindal School of Art and Architecture, followed by the award of degrees to the graduating students of Bachelor of Commerce Honours from Jindal School of Banking and Finance. Our best wishes, graduates. We now proceed with award of degrees to the graduating students of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Media and Communication from Jindal School of Journalism and Communication.
heartiest congratulations to the graduates of Jindal School of Journalism and Communication. Let's now have award of degrees to the graduating students of Postgraduate Diploma in Research and Innovation and Bachelor of Arts Honors in Liberal Arts and Humanities from Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities. Our heartfelt congratulations to the graduates of Jindal School of Liberal Arts and Humanities. We continue with the award of degrees to the graduating students of Master of Arts Public Policy and Bachelor of Arts Honors Economics from Jindal School of Government and Public Policy.
our sincere best wishes, graduates, once again. We now have the degrees of Master of Arts, Diplomacy, Law and Business, and Bachelor of Arts, Honors, Global Affairs being awarded to the graduating students from Jindal School of International Affairs. Many congratulations to the graduating class of Jindal School of International Affairs. Moving on to Jindal Global Business School now. We have award of degrees to the graduating students from Master of Business Administration, Integrated BBA Honors MBA, and Bachelor of Business Administration Honors.
Congratulations and best wishes to our graduates of Jindal Global Business School. We now proceed with award of degrees to the graduating students of Master of Laws, LLM, Bachelor of Laws, LLB, BA, LLB Honors, and BBA, LLB Honors from Jindal Global Law School.
Well done, graduates. It's with great pleasure and pride we extend our heartfelt congratulations to each one of you on your outstanding achievement. Each one of you deserves a special appreciation for achieving your graduation goal despite the unprecedented challenges presented by the pandemic. Our best wishes to all of you for the new beginnings. May I request everyone to kindly join me in a round of virtual applause for our JGU graduates. Taking the proceedings further, I would now like to invite Professor Sridhar Patnaik, Registrar of OP Jindal Global University, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Professor Tanushri Sharma. Indeed, such a delightful evening. Honorable Chancellor of OP Jindal Global University, Mr. Naveen Jindal, distinguished Chief Guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant, Chief Executive Officer, Niti Aayog, esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, members of the governing body, Principal Director, Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences, deans of all schools, faculty and staff members, students from the graduating class of 2021, their parents, guardians, and relatives, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, everyone. On the special and momentous occasion of the 10th Convocation and Founders Day of the OP Jindal Global University, it is my privilege to propose vote of thanks on behalf of the university. I take this opportunity to express our deep gratitude to Mr. Amitabh Kant, CEO, Niti Aayog, for gracing our convocation ceremony and delivering the convocation address. His august presence at the function clearly demonstrates his outstanding commitment to the cause of higher education. We are delighted to hear his inspirational, thoughtful, and enriching remarks. Mr. Khan's profound and erudite address to our graduating students will certainly motivate them to excel in their chosen careers and work leading to nation building. We are privileged to have Mr. Amitabh Kant deliver the convocation address this evening, and we sincerely thank him for accepting the invitation to address the JGU community on this auspicious occasion. On behalf of the entire JGU community, I wish to sincerely thank our Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, for his dynamic and visionary leadership of the university that has today acquired a well-deserving reputation globally. JGU stands as a testament to values espoused by Sri O.P. Jindal, who always believed that education, access, and opportunities could change the world, and that students go on to become change makers, a cause that is always championed by the Honorable Chancellor. We are grateful to our Chancellor and benefactor, Mr. Naveen Jindal, for establishing the OP Jindal Global University and for his unflinching support and continuous guidance over the years. I would like to wholeheartedly thank our distinguished Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajkumar, for his singular dedication and commitment in steering the university's efforts towards achieving academic excellence. I wish to sincerely thank all distinguished invitees, and particularly Madam Srimati Savitri Jindalji and members of the Honorable Chancellor's family, members of the JGU governing body, and dignitaries for participating in this virtual convocation ceremony. On behalf of the JGU, I wish to sincerely thank the Government of Haryana, Ministry of Education, Government of India, Niti Aayog, University Grants Commission, NAC, Association of Indian Universities, Bar Council of India, Council of Architecture for their support, and all our national and international academic partners for believing in our vision and mission and collaborating with us. On this occasion, I congratulate all students who have received their degrees and those who have received medals for academic distinction and outstanding leadership. The pandemic did not derail their plans. They had emerged victorious by overcoming all adversities. I also would like to wish their parents, family members, and all well-wishers who are witnessing this ceremony. JGU will fondly remember you and cherish your memory, and you have been a part of the JGU family and will remain so in the coming years. I would like to sincerely thank all faculty members and deans of all schools, directors of research institutes, and heads and members of all administrative departments, and in particular, the Office of the Examinations, Communications, Information Technology, Events, Infrastructure, Human Resources, U-Haul, and executive officers of various schools and offices of the Registrar and the Vice Chancellor, who worked very hard and tirelessly for making the 10th Convocation ceremony and Founders Day a grand success. It is an excellent teamwork by the team OP Jindal Global University. I might have missed few individuals or departments who have supported us in this endeavor. In all earnest, I may wish to be forgiven for not specifically expressing our gratitude, but we wholeheartedly acknowledge the efforts of everyone. Before I end, let us share our hopes for a post-pandemic and lockdown-free future that will enable us to have our successive convocation ceremonies in a physical setting commemorating the success of our students. Congratulations and best wishes to everyone. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. And before we move any further, may I now request our Honorable Chancellor to dissolve the convocation.
Thank you, Professor Patnaik. And before I do that, I must congratulate the university, the staff, the faculty, the IT department for organizing this virtual convocation flawlessly. It was absolutely wonderful. I've seen many of them, but this was a great job. So congratulations to all of you. And while I was watching, we've been at this for more than 3 hours now. And I was like just watching, and the speeches the students made, they were absolutely wonderful. And then just seeing the photographs with nice music, the smiles on the faces of so many, like more than 1,000 students. It was absolutely amazing. I was getting emotional just watching just the photographs. I'm sure the parents, all of you must be experiencing the same. So under the circumstances, this is the best, and I'm sure we would continue our relationship. Like you said, Professor Sridhar Patnaik said that we are all family, and this is only the beginning. We always have to be and walk together. And just one request, that anytime you see me anywhere, whether it's a railway station or an airport or anywhere, please come up and say hi, because we are all family. So wish you all the very, very best in life. And now I dissolve the convocation.
Closure.